Hey there, it's Kizma, and welcome to the Illumination Podcast. I'm here with Nick Hansinger, and today we are going to talk about the Universal Smackdown. Welcome to the Illumination Podcast with Nick and Kizma, bringing you ancient wisdom for modern day success so that you can sparkle just a little bit brighter each and every day. If what you hear speaks to your soul, go ahead and give us a rating and a review in iTunes. You can also find us on SoundCloud and Stitcher. And hey, if there's somebody in your life that you think would enjoy this podcast, go ahead and share it with them. Hey, Nick, what's going on?
I'm just reveling in the sound of our singing bowl.
Now, not every Universal Smackdown has this gong behind it, and you better take this away from me because it's going to be like going on.
If only they sound so pretty.
Yeah, Smackdowns usually don't sound like that. What do they sound like?
They come in many forms.
We'll have to insert.
I think they show up in like, no,
again,
why?
Like that same relationship again with a different face, like that same job with a different boss, like that same karmic loop stuff.
Yeah, it can be really cloaked in victimization, like, why me, or why is this happening? What did I do to, I think the next evolution of like, there's the, what did I do to deserve this? But most of our audience isn't really in that mode. It's usually like, what did I do to cause this? Right? Which is cool. Like, that's a good question, but it's still like, it's still got that feeling of like, I don't understand.
Yeah. And then there's a different kind of Smackdown that, we're talking about the loops is like something has not been resolved and cleared and whatever. But today I want to talk about this self-importance that all you got to do is go on Facebook and start looking at some posts where all people are doing is talking about how great they are and what they've done and what they've accomplished, like on and on and on. And it's this heightened self-importance.
I mean, I see it a lot, especially in like the coaching and consulting world.
Oh, yeah. I just made my client $1 billion freaking dollars in 2 days. That one kills me.
I mean, I think it's awesome. Like, it's a really interesting kind of, yes, you do need to be out there and sharing like how you're helping
wins.
people, right?
I mean, there's a lot. Let's just pause here and say there's a lot of amazing, certainly people we work with, because we're in that industry, and there's some amazing coaches, consultants, internet marketers that are getting great results.
And it really is important to share your wins and show, what you're capable of helping people produce. Yes. Like, I think that's really, really important. There's a fine line where it becomes it steps over the line from like, hey, this is awesome, to like, I did this.
Or,
right?
Hey, I'm in my full potential self and I'm rocking it. And this is amazing. I'm serving so many people, to look how great I am. All about me. Anybody know anybody like that out there?
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah, for sure.
So what happens when people step into over self-importance?
Well, there's the equalizing factor. So the nature is that, what goes up must come down. I think that's the simplest way to put it. What goes up must come down. So as your self-importance becomes increased higher and higher and higher, it's a roller coaster. Sooner or later, that is coming down, and it will crash hard.
It's like a corrective system.
Yeah.
It's just an automatic reorganization from the universe or the law of cause and effect.
Yeah, that's the really cool thing about our universe, is that it has a self-correcting system to bring it back to equilibrium.
And this is why I know we always talk about Swami Parthasarathy, but oh man, if there was ever like a teacher from the Vedanta Academy, and I remember he talked about, I didn't get it at first, but let's tap into this. Of course, we all know if you're in the past, you are in regret or resentment, unless you're going back there to learn. Like, the past is good for learning. But people who dwell in the past are generally either sad, like I wish I could be back there, or resentful or angry, like it's exhausting. But the same token, if you're in the future, you're most likely in worry and anxiety by being in the non-existent future. It's not there. Now, you know that we teach a lot of manifesting, so I'm all about creating reality, but worry and anxiety is not how you want to do it. By the same token, if in the present moment, one has too much fever, I think that's the word Swamiji would use, like you're too feverish, you will crash.
Yeah. So what you're describing right now is concentration. That's the first C. It's concentration. It's basically being present to the present moment, focused on the task at hand without distraction taking over.
Say that all again. That sounds pretty awesome.
That was, we should record that. Present to the present moment. This is concentration we're speaking about. Present to the present moment and not allowing distractions to take over. So focused on the task at hand and not allowing distractions to take over. So there's a couple of components
to that.
Pretty
powerful place.
There's 3 components to that, actually. There's one is just being present, like I am here, I am now. A really great tool for that is breathing. Just breathe, right?
And this is not, may I just interject, this is not like for you people that go to yoga classes, this is not like, be present, everyone. Let's just sit on our little cushions and be present. No, this is like powerful freaking presence.
Powerful presence. Well, because what makes it powerful is because the intention behind it, the task at hand.
Right.
So present to the present moment, focused on the task at hand and not allowing distraction to take over.
Exactly.
Right? Which is kind of the big one. Like there's a lot
of
distractions. So present to the present moment, focused on the task at hand, not allowing distractions.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's concentration. So when we talk about that, that's going to keep you really in the flow.
Grounded in your full potential, not concerned about what other people are thinking about you. And I believe, correct me if you think this is off the charts, Nick, but I believe that people step into this like super arrogant, super importance because they're more concerned about what other people think of them than their project, their task, their mission, their vision at hand.
Yeah. And it's wanting to take credit for it, So we're skipping a step in here.
What's the step?
The step is concentration.
Okay.
So
I thought you just talked about that. Did I just get distracted?
Consistency. I apologize. No, you totally didn't. I think I got distracted. Consistency, right? So concentration, consistency, right? That's the consistency of action.
Consistency of action.
So that's drawn over a longer period of time. So if you reference our last podcast, we talk about vision, right? This is about having a vision. And that adds even more power to your intention.
Right.
And then the third C is cooperation. So cooperation is where you take your ego, your personality, your self-importance out of the equation.
Oh, you realize that there are so many humans, so many entities that have helped you along the way.
And are helping you right now.
It's like the spoke in the wheel.
Yeah, totally, a spoke in the wheel.
Right.
So great example, right, is, the mayor of the city thinks he's so important. I'm the mayor, or she, excuse me, or she. He or she thinks I'm so important. I'm the mayor. And that's nice. I would guess that the mayor can probably take a vacation for a month or so.
Maybe.
Maybe check in on a few emails and whatnot and have the system run.
Right.
Right? If the garbage collectors take a month off, we've got a mess.
That's bad.
Right? So who's more important?
That's such a good,
right?
Oh, yeah.
But you need both.
You need both.
You need both.
You need the vision. You need those awesome people that are there cleaning up our mess.
So it's really understanding that every person has a role to play and every person is a spoke in the wheel. And that is really, I think, what balances that sense of self-importance.
Yes.
Right? It's the self-importance gets into the as Swamiji would put it, the I am the doer. I'm doing this,
Right.
And yes, there's an aspect of that of like taking ownership, like extreme ownership over your thoughts, your actions, right? You must have that. However, if you don't see it in the larger context, then you become the doer and the creator and everything, and without any help. And it's like, it's all because of you. And that is simply inaccurate. And not only is it inaccurate, it inflates your self-importance, which will require a smackdown to bring it back into balance.
Oh man, that smackdown could be painful. So let's pause for a moment, because I also want people who do awesome things to know they're doing awesome things, to take credit for it, to celebrate it. So how does one be like, yeah, that was really amazing. We did X, Y, and Z, and this really took off, but not to attach that self-importance that is going to create this karmic smackdown?
That's a great question, and there actually is an answer for that. So there's always flip sides of the coin. One is recognizing, like, when you're really in your soul's mission, you're doing what you're here to do, taking powerful action, staying in the game, which is really hard to do, and being out there like serving people from your highest.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
Like you totally... It would be, I think, wrong to not acknowledge that you're actually doing that, because that's super cool. The flip side of that coin is recognizing that you're not doing it alone.
Oh, that's great.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you could say, like, you have an internet business, an internet marketing business, let's say. Great. Well, you require a computer in order to do that. Like, who developed the computer? Like, where did that come from? Where did all this technology come from? Who developed it? And, how far back does it go? Like, there are just countless helping hands that allow you to do what you're here to do.
Totally.
So the saying goes, we stand on the shoulders of giants. And that's absolutely true.
Right.
Like, it's absolutely true. So the resiliency piece is really being able to be in both.
Right.
Being able to be in the smallness of, oh my gosh, like, I wouldn't be able to do anything without all of the help from these countless people, seen and unseen, that I have no idea who so many of them are. And the flip side of that says, like, I am powerful. I'm the creator of my reality, and I'm doing what I am here to do and serving who I'm here to serve.
Yes.
Man, like, when you have both of those, you become really, really powerful.
Yes.
And here comes the train of truth right now. Like, I hear that horn coming. So, that's really where we're aiming to be.
Yeah. And just to kind of flash back to that, if we're in the future and we're all like fearful and anxiety ridden, if we're in the past and we're sad or regretful, train of truth. The present moment, there's a way to be in the present moment that I call neutral enlightenment. It's like to be so beautifully present to this present moment, to absorb every amazing thing that is happening in this present moment, to like Nick said, to really honor everybody seen and unseen that has supported you, and to honor your own brilliance and be in your full potential self, but to have that sense of like enlightenment, but at a neutral place. So you're not too feverish. You're not calling in like, I'm going to crash. You're just like poised, really beautifully poised.
Yeah, the neutral and objective state.
Yeah.
That's the powerful place to be.
So powerful. Because from that place, pretty much anything is possible.
Yeah.
Because think about it, when we muck things up, what happens? Our emotions get in the way, right? If you look at, oftentimes we think, if we're working out, if we're going to speak, like, we want to be motivated, we want to be inspired, we want that positive emotion. That if that emotion takes a flip, and the opposite, all of a sudden we're paralyzed. We can't speak, we can't act because we're being brought down. So finding that very poised and sweet spot of just doing what we're here to do.
Right. Keeping yourself out of the equation as much as possible.
Right?
I mean, really, honestly, this conversation is mostly about understanding humility. Right? Right. But it's humility in a really, how do I want to say this? The level 1 of humility is basically like, I am nothing, which is true. We're a speck of dust.
But we're infinite awareness. So can you explain that?
I mean, look, if you're just looking, that's a whole other place to go. But for now, if you just look at it through the lens of the human being, like, we really are a speck of dust. Like, not only are there like 7 billion of us or however many on the earth, like, that's a lot of people. But then you look out at the stars.
Yeah.
And we're like one tiny planet, little itty bitty speck in this universe. Like, we truly are like beyond a speck of dust. Right? That's level 1. Level 2 is also understanding that I am the creator of my reality.
I'm infinite awareness.
Yeah. So that's level 2.
Man, how do you live in both of those?
You have to have resiliency to live in both. But how you do it is basically just by stretching in one direction and the other. And if there ever comes a time when you're not really humbled, like truly humbled by how incredibly small you are. And simultaneously, like, you're definitely out of it. Like, you're not in it. If you're not really humbled by how small you are, you're not in it. But at the same time, if you're not really awestruck by how incredibly powerful you are, then also you're out of it.
Right. So
you have to have both.
Totally. I look at it this way. It's when someone is increasing or elevating their field, when they're really on this awakening path, I call it like the ascension and the grounding. Like, you want to ascend your soul and your spirit, but at the same time, while you're on this planet, you want to ground. You want to be purposeful. You really want to be focused. You want to honor every other entity that has ever supported you or continues to support you.
Which is truly limitless.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we have no idea how we got here.
No idea. So, oh man, to like honor, and keep ascending so you can work your magic and your miracles, but never take credit for everything because, whoa, man, if we all only knew, I mean, I know we spend a great deal of time pondering our guides, our angels, our ascended masters, the universe, God, Brahman, Atman, source, whatever you want to call it. But all of us can pause and ponder that so much more.
Yeah, well, I would go back to the Magic and Miracles podcast, where we really talked about
podcast.
Yeah, just living in the miracle. I mean, that's a big piece of this. But then that's, to me, like, that is really helpful. That's a helpful tool for staying in humility.
Yeah,
but not doing humility, and like, humility is not self-deprecating.
It is not. No.
At all. And if you want to avoid the universal smackdown, stay in humility.
Yeah.
Like, really stay in humility, but don't let humility stop you from owning your power.
And keep moving. Keep doing what you do.
Yes.
Keep saying yes.
Keep saying yes, for sure.
I love that. Cool.
So, yeah.
Any tips for everybody to take away?
I mean, I think that's it. Just listen to this. There's actually a lot in this podcast right now, and just go back and listen to it, and just really for yourself, like, figure out how can I honor my bigness and my smallness at the same time, and basically just keep myself out of the way so that I can do what I'm here to do.
It's a powerful place, everyone. Whether you're the leader of your family, of a company, of a major corporation, of a yoga studio, like, being able to honor every human and more around you that allows you to do what you do, but also at the same time stepping into your full potential, which will allow you to communicate, to connect, to serve, to speak, to breathe, to do all these things in such an amazing and magnificent way. That's really living.
Super powerful.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's full potential living.
Full potential living. Go do it. So if you've not yet checked out Nick's meditation for full potential, just go ahead and go to sourcemovement.com/meditate. There's a pretty cool, it's a really quite cool free training there about meditation, full potential self. Check it out, sourcemovement.com/meditate. Any questions, email us, info@ sourcemovement.com.
Yeah, you can check us out on iTunes. Go ahead and give us a rating and review. That would be awesome. We'd really appreciate that. And then also check us, you can find us on SoundCloud and Stitcher. And if this really speaks to your soul, we'd love it if you went ahead and shared it with somebody that you love, or just somebody that you think would really benefit being a part of this conversation. The more, the merrier.
Yes.
But until then, stay humble, everybody. Stay
in your full potential.
Your full potential. And really heartfelt namaste.
Namaste.